A good fly rod is one of the most important parts of fly fishing. So today, let's talk about my top 5 fly rods under $250. Like I've said in previous videos, if there's one in this list that you don't agree with, or there's one that you think should be on this list, make a comment down below. I'd love to hear from you. Now, rod number 5 here is coming in at $169.99. This is going to be the Redington Classic Trout fly rod. Now, Redington, as most of you know, I've talked about them in the past. I think they have the best value fly fishing products in the industry right now. I don't think anyone's even coming close to them in terms of the price and what you're getting for that price. So the Classic Trout, they got 8 different sizes here. They've got like a 7/6 3 weight, which would be awesome for small streams. They've got a 9-foot 5 weight. They've got a lot of different, different things to choose from here. My best friend Jake actually has one of these Classic Trouts here. He has the 9-foot 5 weight. We've actually had some videos in the past where we fished together and he's used this rod. I've got to cast it a little as well. It's a super nice casting rod. It feels much higher quality than a $170 piece of fly fishing equipment. Absolutely love this rod. Redington, you killed it with this one. Now, number 4 on this list is also a rod that I have fished with, and that is the Temple Fork Outfitters Signature 3 series. Now, I've actually fished with the Signature 2 in the past, and I've also fished with the Signature 1, but I've got to feel the Signature 3, and all of them are phenomenal setups. So this one right here is also coming in at $169.99. There's a bunch of different sizes here. They've actually got, I think it looks like even more sizes than the Classic Trout. This was actually the first fly rod that I ever bought. I was at a fly fishing expo and I wanted to get into it, and someone recommended this to me, and they sold me this as well as I forget the reel that I had on there, but I know this was the rod I had was the Signature series. This was a while back, so this was probably the original Signature series. Absolutely loved it. I had that rod for so many years. I fished the crap out of it. It was awesome. It was definitely a great first fly rod for me. Even now that I've been fly fishing for a long time, I would still use that rod. Like, it's still an awesome setup for the money. Now, one thing to note with this rod is it looks like these only come in 2-piece rods. Most fly rods are a 4-piece, so they market that a 2-piece rod has some benefits versus a 4-piece. I could see that being a thing. I could see a 2-piece rod feeling better and being a little more durable than a 4-piece. However, for those of you that want a 4-piece to be able to pack down in a typical fly rod case and stuff, this may not be the one for you. You may want something else here. But a 2-piece rod, to me, it's not too big of a deal. I think that's pretty cool. One of the big selling points on their website as well is that it's just a simple rod that gets the job done, and I totally agree with that. For $170, this is just a straight up fishing machine that's going to get you on some fish, and it's going to hold up really well for you. And if it doesn't hold up, Temple Fork does have a great warranty policy. I've had to go through them in the past for another rod that had an issue, and their customer service was really good. So that's another thing I'd like to add here for this. Now, rod number 3 on this list is made by a company that I feel like doesn't get as much talk as Orvis and Redington and some of those larger brands. This one is Lamson. So this is the Lamson Guru. This rod is coming in at about $249.99. So right at the top of that list here in terms of price. Lamson is pretty cool. They're based out of Idaho, so I've heard a lot about them since moving here. I've sold a lot of them at the Shields shop that I work at here, and people seem to really, really like Lamson. Another thing is if you are local in this area, their warranty service is probably pretty good, because we're so close to them. But if you're not around this area, I've heard that they're very easy to work with, and they're a really good company, which is cool. They're one of those rods that they feel more expensive than they're actually priced at, right? So they feel a lot nicer than a $250 rod, which is cool. It's coming in at, I believe, 5 sizes here. We've got a 4-weight, 5-weight, 6-weight, 7-8, 8-weight. So we've got, 5 sizes. They're all 9-foot, 4-piece rods. So overall, pretty simple in terms of selecting a rod. They don't have a lot of different sizes. If you're looking for like a 10-foot 4-weight for Euro nymphing, or you're looking for a 7/6 3-weight for streams, like, it doesn't seem like they have a ton of range in terms of the sizes here, but they do have their 9-footers, right? Which is going to be your average fly fishing trout rod that you're going to want. So yeah, check out Lamson. They're a pretty cool company. They've got some really good products. Now, although I've either felt or fished all of the previous rods that I've talked about on this list, product 1 and 2 here I actually have with me in person. Number 2 being the St. Croix Mojo Trout fly rod. This one's coming in at $199.99, so priced pretty well for overall fly fishing stuff. These are very sensitive rods. I have the 7.6 3-weight, so I've got a small setup. This is like my ultimate small stream, beating around the bushes, getting into places that maybe have not seen fishermen in a while, right? This is my exploring travel rod. I've caught a lot of fish on this thing, a lot of videos in the past. You guys have probably seen this rod being used. My goodness, I love this rod. This rod is phenomenal. I bought it knowing very little about the rod. I mean, I know St. Croix is a good fishing brand. I use a lot of their conventional fishing stuff, so I figured their fly rods would be good too. But upon buying it, I've done a little more research on them now, and I've really come to realize that they are truly one of the best fly fishing rod brands right now. They are killing it. I absolutely love this rod. It's so comfortable and easy to use all day. And although the rod is very sensitive, it seems a little brittle. You've got to take care of this one. It hasn't broken or anything on me yet. And I know St. Croix has some pretty good warranty systems as well in there. So yeah, St. Croix Mojo Trout. Awesome rod. Those of you that have a tackle shop near you that you can check these out, I would 100% recommend doing that. Now, I was having trouble on St. Croix's website finding the actual rod because I wanted to see what other sizes that they had available. I know there's other sizes. The 7.6 3-weight is not the only one you can get, but this is the one I would recommend for those of you wanting like a small stream, smaller trout fly rod to get into some of those alpine lakes and just fun stuff like that. Totally would recommend this rod. This is probably the funnest rod in my fly fishing arsenal to fish with. This one is hands down, it's the funnest to fight fish with. It just has this full moderate bend on it, just doubles down, it casts really nice, it's a blast to fish with. So would 100% recommend checking these rods out in a store near you. Now, the St. Croix Mojo Trout is probably the funnest rod in my arsenal to fish with, but my overall favorite rod is number 1 here. Those of you that know me probably know this is number 1 on the list. It's number 1 on many people's lists, and that is the Orvis Clearwater fly rods. Coming in at $249.99. These are at the very top of the list, but holy smokes, is it worth it. These rods fish way more expensive than what they actually cost. You can talk to many guys at different fly shops and ask them, this is going to be one of their favorite rods. A couple of the guys at the shield shop also agreed with me when I was making this video and I was kind of looking for their input on what rods that they think should be where and what place. We all pretty much agreed that the Clearwaters are number 1. They are phenomenal. I actually have 2 sizes for the Clearwaters here. This one is a 10-foot 4-weight. This is my all-around nymphing rod. If I want a Euro nymph with it, I can, but I also just use it for regular nymphing. I like long rods. I feel like they play fish a lot better, and you can, it's taller rods, so you can mend and pick up that line a lot easier on the top. So that one's really cool. This one right here is a 11-foot 7-weight 2-handed rod, and this is my Pyramid Lake rod. So I've got some switch line on there, so it's basically super heavy at the front, and I'm doing these large roll casts to throw out nymphs, into the middle of the lake. And these have taken some big fish as well. I believe I have close to a 15 to 20 pound trout at Pyramid Lake on this rod. I haven't used it for much other stuff yet, but if I wanted to go for steelhead and salmon, this would be an awesome setup for that as well. Wow, these rods are phenomenal. I've had so many good memories with both of these rods already, and I definitely am going to have some more good memories in the future with them. All the parts on this rod are phenomenal. The blanks are high quality. Everything about these setups are just top-notch quality, and that's what I love so much about it. This would be the rod, for those of you wondering, this would be the rod that I would recommend going out and picking up in stores. If I missed any, let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear your input. Hopefully you guys got a kick out of today's episode. We'll see you guys next time on Humbug Videos.